Jim Ryan from ABC News is there reporting to us from Moore, Oklahoma. Jim, I think we want to know a little bit more just about the basics of where we are today, what is the death toll, and what's going on at that elementary school where they've been doing recovery all night.
Well, yeah, they spent a lot of time and effort and elbow grease there last night trying to find more victims. We haven't been told about any discoveries one way or the other that were made in that elementary school. In fact, I heard radio traffic a short time ago. The fire department had suspended the search. They plan to get back at it this morning. Complicating the whole thing, the flashes of lightning that I'm watching right now moving in from the west. There's no threat of a tornado that anybody's been told about, at least. But it's going to be rainy later today and windy, and it's sort of complicating and adding to the misery factor for these search and rescue workers.
What is the death toll right now as it stands? Your best guess that you have.
Well, I'm not going to guess. I'm going to stick with the numbers we've been provided. It's 51. We have not been provided a breakdown on children versus adults in that group, but we have been told that some children are among those who were killed. We're told at least 100 were taken to the hospital, and I think it's safe to say that many more than that were injured when this tornado came through. A massive storm that swept across this area for about 40 minutes.
Jim Ryan, I know that there were a lot of power lines down. Has electricity and other basic necessities been restored to the people there so that they can not get back to normal, but help restore normalcy to the area?
Not yet, and that might not happen for some time. Right now, at the moment, the effort to get in and find people has superseded any efforts to try to get utilities turned back on. The only caveat to that is that they have tried to shut off power so that workers can safely get into those areas.
And Jim, what about the water supply? I heard somewhere that there was a decontamination plant that got hit by this as well. Do they have clean water?
Yeah, well, in general, and think of it this way: this is not a small, tiny, isolated community out in the middle of nowhere. Oklahoma City is the state capital, is 10 miles to the north, and life up there is generally okay. There were some areas of Oklahoma City that were struck. So, and you've got Dallas about 200 miles south of here. There are lots of services being brought in. These folks are far from isolated.
You know, I sort of hail from that part of the world. My family came from Oklahoma, and I was there for the Oklahoma City bombing. I know this particular area was hit again in 1999. If you feel like you can, tell me a little bit about sort of the determination of these people. I mean, they just react in such a very unique and very powerful way in times of tragedy.
You're right, yeah. They've been tested by fire, and I was up here about 90 minutes after the bombing and saw the smoke rising from the Murrah building in 1995. And yes, the tornado in 99, again, a powerful storm in 2003. You're right, these folks kind of circle the wagons. They take care of their own. People were streaming in here from across the state yesterday afternoon to help in the search and rescue operation, coming from all over the place. In fact, I understand a search and rescue group from Joplin, Missouri, has made its way down here. You remember just less than 2 years ago, the horrific storm that tore up that city. Oklahoma City had folks up there helping, and now Joplin has sent people down here.
Jim Ryan of ABC News. We've only got about 30 seconds. I'm just wondering, since this has sort of been your beat for the last couple of days, chasing these tornadoes, have you been up close and personal? What have you seen firsthand as a tornado's hitting?
Well, the one that really comes to mind yesterday was heading up I-35 toward around Pauls Valley. You're familiar with Pauls Valley down south of here.
Right.
There were again, as this storm was tearing up Oklahoma City and more, there were smaller tornadoes that were being spun off in a line, just a north-south line that was sweeping across the state.
Wow.
Really horrific to see that coming down.
All right. Thank you for the first-hand reporting, Jim Ryan of ABC News. Good to have you, and stay safe out there.
Thank you.